So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you had a good day. I also did have a good day. So I hope you had a productive one at that. And so I also did have one of a productive one. So I'm going to say this. So the legendary Ngugi wa Thiong'o is dead. Has just rested. Sorry for that, dead. Has just rested. And he rested at 87. So another day, another time, just this year, we were told that Leonard Mambo Botella also rested at 87. Then another time, we were told also, it was also announced that Pope Francis also rested at 87. Also rested at 87. So here, what is God trying to show us? So here, with all that, with all those people resting at 80, at 87, 87, 87, the three resting at 87, what is God now trying to show us here? God is trying to show us that it is you now to decide. You're the one to decide whether you're going to make an impact. It is you now to decide whether you're going to make an impact in someone's life or you're going to just live your life. Whether you're going to make an impact in someone's life or you're going just to live your life. Then again, God is also trying to show us here that you can live. You can live. You can live. You can live. But so long as you are living, then I'm the one that will direct you. You can live. But then, so long as you are living, I'm the one that will direct you. So now, I will ask you again. The three that I've mentioned, they made sure they left an impact. Pope Francis, he made sure he left an impact with the whole entire world. I remember there was once he did visit Kenya. I remember there was once he did visit Kenya. And then also, Leonard Mambo Botella started his work as a journalist when he was way younger than I. He started his work as a journalist when he was way younger than I. Of which he did it like throughout his life. Then he produced a show called Jehu ni Ungwana, of which he started this show when he was still a boy, then when KBC was VOK. When KBC was VOK, of which he did it in the radio station KBC, Lugha ya Taifa, and also when KBC was VOK. He started from then on. Then he did Jehu ni Ungwana, a show that was normally used to be that one of a kind. And he did it for the rest of his life. But then, remember, Leonard Mambo Botella was not a Kenyan. Was not a Kenyan by birth. He just traveled to Kenya. And he had a family of his own. Of which now when he was resting, his last wishes were, I want my country, this is Kenya now, to celebrate my life. I want my country to celebrate my life. So, with some of the journalists now, the current journalists, some of the journalists that have done the work for like 15, 10, 9, were coming to see him even in his last days here on earth. They were coming to see him even in his last days here on earth. Pope Francis also did a mass even in his last days here on earth. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, I remember he had removed I had read his book, The River Between. I had read this book, The River Between. But then I was watching this interview whereby he had made all his children to love to write. He had made all his children to love to write. So you are a father and you're making all your children to write, to love to write. You're making them to love literature, to love to write, to love to do storytelling. So which I was listening to one that was saying that it is a family that loves to write. It's a family that loves storytelling. So then when he was coming to Kenya for that interview back in 2015, he was 77. Then later on he went to the US. Then later on he went to the US. So now Ngugi wa Thiong'o had removed a couple of books. He was a writer. So he had written and also taught. He had written and he was also a scholar. So which was called Professor Dr. Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It was called Professor Dr. Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And literally he would have won actually the Nobel Peace Prize. He would have won that because he was one of those Africans that were writing. They were writing. And he also fought at some point. He also fought in his years at some point. He had lived for 6 decades. Imagine living for 6 decades, and each and everywhere you go, they notice you. Each and everywhere you go, they notice you. Of which I remember there were some people he told that you need to love your indigenous language. You need to love your indigenous language, that is your mother tongue. You also need to love your culture. And I'm pretty sure he was telling to all his students that you need to, for the Africans, that they need to love their indigenous language, that is their mother tongue. They need to love their indigenous language, that is their mother tongue. They also need to also love their culture, because a couple of us, once you get everything appertaining your success, or you go abroad, or you travel and you started to travel abroad, some of us tend to forget our indigenous language, that is our mother tongue. We also tend to also forget our culture. You don't remember your culture now. You don't want even to associate with your culture. So, of which I know for a fact he was telling the Africans that he was teaching then in the US to love their indigenous language and to speak it and not to feel ashamed of it and to speak it. So how many of us can talk our mother tongues without mistaking a word? If you're one of them, then raise your hand up. If you're one of them that can speak your mother tongue without mistaking a word, then congratulations to you. You have loved your indigenous language. So make sure, even if you travel across the globe, you're a global citizen, even if you travel across the globe, make sure never to never to feel ashamed of your indigenous language, that is your mother tongue, and also never to feel ashamed of your culture. And then again, don't feel ashamed of your parents. Don't feel ashamed of your parents, because some of them fundraised for you to go and study outside. Some of them fundraised also for you to also study. So make sure you become a global citizen. If you become a global citizen, embrace your indigenous language. Never forget that. Embrace your indigenous language. Yes, go and speak English. Go and speak Swahili, but then don't forget your indigenous language. Number one, don't forget your indigenous language. Number two, don't forget your culture. And then also, don't forget your parents. No matter, even if they are aging. When I went to Aga Khan, they told me, your parents take care of you, you take care of them. Your parents take care of you, you take care of them. So even if they are aging, take care of them. Take care of them. Take care of them. Yes, because some of us tend to forget our parents. You're enjoying a good life. For example, you live in Nairobi. Your parents live in the village. You're enjoying a good life, but then they're not enjoying a good life. They do not have everything. Yet they are the ones that gave you the foundation. So don't forget them. But then if you feel like you argue a lot, if you feel like you argue a lot, you can put some boundaries. You can go in a calm way and put some boundaries. Actually, it is actually human to put some boundaries as an adult. You can go, talk to them calmly, and put some boundaries. You can go and talk to them calmly, and you put some boundaries. And once you have done that, they will understand you. So ask yourself, what impact am I making? What impact am I making? When I go back home, that is in heaven, will the people celebrate me? Or will they start saying, hata huyo wacha aende, hatumtaki tena? Will they start saying that? So ask yourself, what impact? No matter what generation you are, even if you're a Gen Z, you're a millennial, you're a Gen X, whatever generation you are in, ask yourself, what impact am I making? What impact am I making? And then, when I'm done with my life here on earth, what will people be saying? Will they celebrate me now? Or will they celebrate my life now? Or will they be saying, hata wacha huo aende, hata tumtaki tena? Ask yourself that question. And once you're done reflecting, if you know you're not making any impact, then it is high time you start now making impacts in various lives. And how can you for example, how can you make I know some of you are going to ask me, how can I make an impact? For example, me, I'm a student, right? Then I'm also a YouTuber, right? And then I also sing in the praise and worship, right? So I need to make sure that my works in the YouTube, for example, my works in the YouTube leave impact, even if it's not to the 800 and something of you, even to me 12, I'm good with it. Even to me 12, I'm good with it. That one to me is telling me that I'm leaving impact to someone. Even 12 views to me, I'm good with it, because I know that I'm leaving an impact. Daily, I'm leaving an impact with my content. I'm leaving an impact with my content. I'm leaving an impact with my content. Then when I go and sing, then I'm told that by the way you touched us, by the way you sing, and I know I'm also leaving an impact there. Then with the present worship guys, when you are told that now you guys sang well, now I know we are leaving an impact. So daily ask yourself, what impact am I leaving? What impact am I leaving? No matter what field you are in, ask yourself, what impact am I leaving? And then there will someone come and tell you, thank you, I'm grateful, or will they be saying, hata huyo alinibo, hata simtaki tena, hata sitampigia tena, hata sitaenda kwake tena, hata sitakuwa mwanafunzi wake tena? Will someone come and tell you that? So ask yourself that question. And if you know you're not making any impact, then it is high time you start making. It is high time you start making an impact, so that later on, when you leave this earth, you'll be celebrated. Later on, you'll be celebrated. So thank you for listening to me. Do have yourselves a good night. And as you can see, I'm much better now, but then I'm still fighting because I'm still taking my medicine. I'm still taking the medicine, so I'm still fighting. So let's continue fighting. Continue helping me to fight as I continue helping you with your prayers. So as I said once in my video, let's lift each other up. Let's lift each other up. If they did it in the Bible, why not us? So let's lift each other up, and we continue with life. So watch, like, comment, share, subscribe.